So the holidays are here, and although it's a beautiful period, sometimes it can be quite stressful. Knowing this, I decided to come here and talk about preparation. What are you doing to prepare for the holidays? Because, yes, we have to find ways of going through these days the best way possible, but we can also prepare ourselves, prepare our nervous systems and our spiritual bodies to face whatever trigger, whatever situation we are going to go through. It is important to prepare your energetic field, prepare your nervous system for whatever it is that you are thinking or expecting to face. And if then something different happens, you can be happily surprised and go through your holidays with a more calm self. Welcome to my channel. My name is Lígia, and here I want to create a safe space so we can talk about anything, and also a space where we can find together ways of dealing with things in life that sometimes are hard. It's a safe space. So today we're talking about preparing ourselves for the holidays. Don't get me wrong, I love the holidays, and I think a lot of us do. The thing that is hard for me to accept is that being around a lot of people sometimes can be very draining and also very heavy, not only in a spiritual way, but also in a nervous system way. Because, listen, we all have busy daily lives, but these days are especially busy. It's not only the fact that we are together with family, but we are together with people who have their own daily lives, who have their own way of doing things. And then we are coming together and spending a lot of time, not only a few dinner parties, but also we are coming together for sometimes a few days or a week to stay and to spend the last 2 weeks of the year together. I'm talking about dealing with other people's nervous systems. Everybody comes carrying their own backpacks and they have jobs just like we do. They have their own disappointments, they have their own happiness, they have their own way of celebrating, and it needs to mix together. And as I say this, I am imagining us, imagine everybody walks around with their own energy, right? We're talking about our bodies, our nervous systems, our minds, right? And I'm talking about our own emotions and feelings. And then imagine your bubble. That is your etheric body, your spiritual body. Because we have that, is even proven scientifically that we have a field, a magnetic field around us. Not only us, but I think pretty much everything in nature has their own frequency, their own magnetic field. But I digress a bit. We have our magnetic fields. And normally in your daily life, you come across other people, right? And we are not always prepared for what is resting in their magnetic fields. If sometimes someone's magnetic field is a bit out of balance, imagine it as a bubble. This is how I'm seeing it, is a bubble, right? And if there is a little unbalance, there will be little holes in the bubble. And holes mean that something else from the outside can come in that bubble. And then they will penetrate a layer deeper. Sometimes they will affect the way that you feel. Sometimes they will affect your own emotions. You will start feeling things that you cannot place. You're like, I was fine this morning. Why am I feeling so, imagine, enraged by things that I normally don't feel enraged by? Or why am I feeling so stressed out? It was not as stressful of a day. Or sadness, and it tends to be things that we normally are not expecting, or more negative frequencies, because negative frequencies like a magnet. They are attracted to you, to your positive frequency. Yes, we all have negative and positive in our fields, but imagine that your field is a little bit more balanced, or you are in a better day and you're like carrying a lot of positive energy, which is great, which is what we want. It is important to protect that, to create a safe bubble and a healthy bubble in order not to then be absorbing those energies that will come from another frequency field that is maybe not so protected or maybe not so balanced. So we take that in. It can even mess with our nervous system. It works like little stimuli, let's call it this way. And then we get over overly exposed and we get overstimulated and our bodies will react. We will also experience things that we were not expecting. So this, I think, is pretty clear to us. And for me personally, the best way for me is to prepare. And we can carry this into our daily life. I think any practices that I'm going to share with you in this video in order to protect yourself for the holidays will work in your daily life. But I think it's especially important to practice this in days where you know that you're going to be under a lot of stress, under a lot of pressure, or simply involved in a lot of other energy fields, a lot of other nervous systems. And it's important to find your own balance. So I would say that you want to keep that bubble healthy, right? We want to keep that bubble as whole as possible, because the more that we go through the day, the more that bubble can deteriorate, and that is totally normal. But there are also little things we can do during the day, during the days, in order to keep that bubble healthy, to keep ourselves and our energy fields in a space where we can hold our own energy and still be with other people in a very positive way. So in this part of the video, I want to share with you things that work pretty well for me. And I know that to be true because I've been practicing these things for a few years now. And believe me when I tell you that I was a person as an empath, and I think that many of you watching me may also be empaths or high sensitive people. I know how it feels that when you enter a space, it's almost impossible for you not to read a room, feel the room, and absorb the room. So for many years of my life, every time the holidays came or periods of a lot of um, grouping and being together, it was always a mix between happiness, beautiful wonder, and also a lot of stress and a lot of time for me to recover from those beautiful days. And I would absorb all the kinds of things, emotions, a lot of them, a lot of behaviors that then I would not recognize as my own. And my nervous system would go totally out of whack. And I have periods of time, because I think that if you're in the channel, maybe you know, if not, um, I have ADHD. So I have periods by myself where I have overstimulation and I can have moments that I go over the top with stimulation, and then I really have low moments where I need my rest. And since I started practicing these things that I'm about to share with you, even my ADHD, even having a neurodivergent brain, I can keep myself in balance and I can be aware in the moments that something is throwing my nervous system out of whack, and I can find space within myself to go back, just take one step back, or maybe a little centimeter back, and get myself back to a space where I can find my own balance. So, one of the things that you can do before you enter those days, or even before every day, and it might sound difficult, but it isn't, it's meditation. And believe me, I'm not saying meditation because guru in the top of the mountain. No, not at all. I'm very far from being the type of person who you would call a guru. But this really, really helps. I honestly haven't found a tool that works better for my nervous system than meditation. And I'm not telling you that I'm going to sit every morning and meditate for 1 hour, half an hour, and have this perfect om moments. No, sometimes it's going to be that 15 minutes in the morning where I just woke up and I'm still laying comfortable under my covers, and I am already aware, I am already awake, and I'm still closing my eyes and I'm thinking, okay, I'm about to have a day so and so, and I really want to protect my energy. And what I do is that I focus my breath and I focus my mind into whatever I want to get that day. And that, my friends, that is meditation. You are meditating, you are bringing your nervous system to a space where you can find that sweet spot. And then when I find that sweet spot, when I visualize whatever it is that I want to achieve that day, or whatever it is that I want to protect that day, I will use that visualization whenever I feel thrown out of whack. So, for example, one thing that I really love to do is meditate in that bubble of energy. So, what I do is I close my eyes and I imagine the bubble. I'm imagining my bubble. Sometimes it's golden, sometimes there is different colors. It's whatever energy it's in me that day, and I'm imagining myself inside of that bubble, and I'm saying to myself, this is my protective bubble. It protects my nervous system, it protects my spiritual body. Everything about me is inside of this bubble, and I see it and I fortify it. And normally I love to fortify it using crystals or using the energy of the sun, but you don't really need, if that's not your thing, you can just imagine your bubble getting stronger. Like for example, imagine that it shines a little bit. You are charging your bubble. That bubble is your visualization of your shield, of your protection, of your nervous system, and of your whole being. So you don't have to lean to one side or the other in order to do this visualization. It will work as long as you are taking the time and teaching your brain that you have that protection. You are not open to anything that is going to come to you. You are protected, and you are the one who chooses what is going to come in and what you are going to take in and choose to absorb or not, and choose to deal or not deal with. And because when we are in conversations, we can also do this, right? You can protect yourself, like create this shield in front of you and say, like, I am not going to respond to this. And the way you choose to go forward or not in this conversation is what's going to protect you from being overstimulated or not. So, this is what I do during this meditation. I'm seeing my bubble. To me, it's my etherical bubble, and I am fortifying it. I am charging it with my own energy, with energy of the nature, with energy of the universe. I am charging it and making it strong. And I'm saying to myself, I am strong. I am worthy of respect. I am worthy of having a balanced nervous system. And I am going to keep myself wherever I choose to be. And, by giving yourself the power, you are showing yourself that you are in command of wherever happens, because things don't just happen to you, you are also happening in life. And sometimes when our nervous systems are out of whack, this is the little part that we miss, is like we are also on the control panel of life. It's not only things coming from the exterior happening to us, we are also happening to them. So we have the power and the right to participate. So you're not solely going into the holidays and having all of these things happening to you. You are also there. And you are worthy of this. You are worthy of preparation, and you are worthy of being protected. So that little meditation, you can take as much time as you want. I love to use crystals too. I do believe that crystals carry beautiful energy of the earth, and they help me concentrate whatever energy I want to, uh, how do you say, whatever energy I want to add to my bubble. Sometimes imagine I will pick a rose quartz and I will hold and I will concentrate the energy of love, because I want to feel self love, and I want to be able to give love to others without losing sight of my self love. For example, this is a beautiful practice you can do. You can hold something like a selenite or a clear quartz, something that will be a serene kind of energy, so you can clean your field and charge yourself up, or just charge yourself up, like pep talk yourself during this meditation. I am worthy, I am strong, and I can go through these days, and these days won't just affect me, I will affect them too. This is a beautiful practice that you can do every time that you are preparing for a gathering like this. Just give yourself time. And then imagine during the day, this is also preparation. This is before, right? You wake up, you are getting ready, that. And then there is also going through the day, every time that you feel overstimulated, every time that you're like, okay, right now I'm losing sight of this, or I am getting, you can do this again. You can go somewhere, just go to the toilet. I've watched a video of a beautiful friend of mine, also here on YouTube, and she was talking about how she dealt with periods of stress in family gatherings, also by the holidays, vacations, anything. And one of the things she said, and it stayed with me, is let's just go to the toilet. Because I mean, you go to the toilet and you have that moment for you, right? And just go to the toilet and you just close your eyes, imagine your bubble again, see it. And sometimes you will see right away there is something happening in your bubble, there will be a weak spot, and give it your attention and say, like, I am repairing this weak spot and I am balanced again, and here I am. So meditation and keeping that bubble very healthy, that is a preparation that you can do. That is something that will work for sure, because you are teaching yourself and giving yourself a safe space to be. Then another sort of preparation that you can do, and this is a little bit uh, more work, let's say, is like you can imagine and you can start thinking about what are the people that you're going to be with that are the most triggering to you, or what are the conversations that come along every single year that oh, there will be that uncle that always says this, my grandpa always brings this up, or that cousin of mine always talks about this kind of things, and it always annoys me and it always triggers me. It because you know your family, you know yourself better than anyone. So what you can do is mentally prepare yourself for those conversations. Not like you can anticipate whatever is going to happen, but you can anticipate your own feelings. You can anticipate the way you get triggered. And you can even write it down, make a list for yourself, or mentally make a list of the things that you know that normally happen. I would make a list. I think it's fun sometimes. I just pick up a piece of paper, like, this person is going to say this, that person always says that, I always get messed up wherever they do this and that, I always get annoyed when this person of my family does this and then thinks that it's fine, whatever it is that normally triggers you, write it down. Because writing it down is different than making mental notes. When you write it down, it really gets into your brain. So you write it down. And this is like, you already know this is going to happen. So by writing it down and looking at it, you are like, okay, this is going to happen. So I'm prepared for it. I know this is about to happen. So when you ever knew that feeling when, for example, you did something for the first time? Okay, for example, something stressful or adrenaline building, like riding a roller coaster, or I don't know, flying a plane for the first time, anything that you did for the first time. You know that the anticipation we feel is because we don't know what's going to happen to us. So this is totally new experience, and your nervous system is preparing for everything. So you're in fight or flight mode because you're prepared to protect yourself. Your brain is automatically prepared for survival. Our brains are set up to protect us. So it will put you in fight or flight mode. And then you go through the experience. If you're going to repeat that experience, you already know what's going to happen. Yeah, okay, there is always new things, new uh, factors to it. The weather can influence whatever you are doing, or the number of people that are around you, the person who is controlling. Yeah, okay, there are other values in that equation that can change the results. But to your brain, you already been there and done that. So it's a different kind of awareness when you've already rode that roller coaster. So you are never going to feel the same stress and the same anxiety and the same fight or flight to the 110% anymore. You've been there, you've done that with family gatherings, with triggers old from the past, or things that we sometimes are not sure that are already healed in us or not. And sometimes we are surprised of things that we thought, oh, this is now gone, I'm better. And sometimes we just get triggered, and that's really good because it gives us a chance to heal, but it's not fun in the moment it happens. So by preparing yourself, by making that little list of yours or taking mental notes, whatever works best for you, I would write the list. You are already telling your brain, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to get triggered by this. So it's not going to be like you're going to be already in fight or flight mode when you get there. You're going to be with a balance, rest and digest, ideally, nervous system entering to the situation, because your brain already knows what's going to happen. So your brain is already ready to deal with whatever is coming. You come from a place of rest. And yes, if you still get triggered, you are going to have a different kind of awareness, and the way that you're going to react is going to be different, or you're going to have the time to choose how to react. And I think that makes a whole world of difference, at least to me, knowing and going through in my mind the things that are going to happen give me such a different kind of perspective and reaction when I'm with the person, and then said thing happens. I'm like, okay, I was prepared for this. Even if I still have emotions coming up, at least I know how to react. I can give in to the emotion, I can choose that, or I can say, like, well, not today, I'm not going to do that, I knew this was going to happen, and I choose to stay calm, for example. Or you choose a different way, you choose a different answer. Whatever you choose to do is going to be perfect at that moment. But I'm telling you, that makes a world of difference to kind of map out whatever you think is going to be important to you, and whatever it is that you think that is going to affect you. Other thing is to have some kind of anchor. And for me, there is, for example, a person, a friend, or someone you can talk to about these things. It's important to have an anchor, you know? And as preparation to say, like, because there is certain emotions and certain stresses and things that we kind of build up before this kinds of gatherings. And if you don't have a safe space to kind of, I will call it, throw it in there, sometimes all of this build up keeps you in that fight or flight mode and keeps your nervous system overstimulated and keeps you, it's impossible for you to just get yourself into a calm mind state, because it's like, imagine that bubble keeps going like, keeps vibrating with all of this energy that you're putting in there, that it's energy that is not comfortable to you, and it can't get stable. So whatever you do, the bubble is going to keep vibrating. Your protection, your shield is going to be weak. So have an anchor, whatever works as an anchor for you. It can be a person, it sometimes can be a pet that, you know, if I spend some time with them, I am going to do this. Have an anchor for yourself. It can be an online community, it can be a YouTube channel like this where you can put it on the comments, this is going to happen and I know I'm going to stress out. You know, have a place where you feel safe and where you can say whatever is on your heart from a place of love and from a place of self preservation. And you can take it out of yourself. It's important not to pile it up, to let it pile up. So the preparation is not let yourself be filled with all of these emotions. Find an anchor for yourself. It can be something as journaling, for example. Journaling also works beautiful for this. And I would say some breath work. That is a beautiful way of anchoring those energies, because you are going to be accumulating all of that stress, all of that energy. And when we are in these kinds of situations, as we've been mentioning the whole video, our nervous system gets into fight or flight. And it's not like you're in the situation, but you're already in fight or flight before. So your breath normally is shallow. So if you breathe deeply, you are going to be allowing your body to relax. So doing some breath work is awesome. And some very soft exercises are like an anchor. They work like an anchor because they are going to teach your body that whatever you feel at that moment, it's possible to turn down one level or two, as long as you anchor yourself. So it can be exterior, it can be interior, but find a way to anchor yourself. Find a practice, find a person, find a way to take all of that build up and take it out of yourself. And then you are going to come from a place of balance, from a place of you choose. And that's the most important way. I find all of, I'm sorry, my cat is really lively today. He's walking around and is meowing, so you just may have heard him. And but as I was saying, you are coming from a place of yourself, not a place of whatever happens to me, but a place of whatever happens, I am also happening. And that is the most important thing that will help you go through the holidays, that will help you prepare and then survive the holidays. I found this simple methods. So meditation, listing down whatever it is, being prepared, knowing what is going to happen to you, anticipate it, and then find yourself an anchor. Whatever practice helps you bring your own energy into a place of safety. And I promise you, this is going to work for you too. It's been working for me. It's been helping me going through times that I thought that I would never be able to be in that space again and be true to myself. And I really, really wish you beautiful holidays. Have beautiful time. Enjoy and spread your love, spread your light, and don't be so worried about it, because I know you got this, my friend. Mwah. Beautiful, beautiful holidays. Stay safe, stay balanced, and welcome home. I love you. Mwah.